Uh-huh.
It's because he wanted them to be rescued. He wanted her to be rescued in that time.
So did Mark try to save the fairy?
Did Mark want the fairy? No. Did he want the goose that laid the golden egg? Yeah.
Okay, so was
So
Mark Jack?
He had two things.
Okay, but was Mark Jack?
No.
Mark was just there at the time?
No, he must have got the.
Was Mark the giant?
Was Mark the giant? No, he was not.
So he just came along for opportunity.
He wanted the golden egg, the goose that laid.
Was he there for opportunity?
Well, of course.
That's crazy. Now I got two clients that are merging together in one past life.
We all merge together at one time or another. So.
I know, but this is really crazy. Actually,
see what you get.
I can.
Ask if Mark wanted the goose that laid the golden egg.
Did Mark want the goose that laid the golden egg? I hear, of course. Okay, so of course he did. All right, so.
Did he get it?
Did he get the goose? You get no, I get no, and you get yes. Did Mark get the goose? I still get no. Okay, so why am I seeing...
Did Mark get the fairy?
Did Mark get the fairy? Yes.
Okay. I don't think Mark wanted the fairy. Did Mark want the fairy?
No, he got the fairy.
He didn't want the fairy, though. I don't know what he...
So you're saying Perverter
was the fairy.
Is the fairy.
Yeah.
In that timeline.
Yeah.
But was there two different times of this happening? Was it more than one time? Was it more... Did this storyline happen more than once?
Probably.
Yeah. So in the first storyline that I'm working on with was
probably Mark was first and then Permir
was
was
second. Is that true? Is Mark in the first storyline? I get no.
Okay.
Was he in the second storyline? Yes. Okay, so...
I guess it's topsy-turvy day.
It's topsy-turvy. Well, okay. No, but... Okay, so if Jack got the beans, right?
Yeah.
But you're saying that Mark wasn't Jack.
Wow.
All right, in the first story...
I don't know who was Jack.
In the first story was Permir the Jack. I seen it. I seen her yelling at him. So what am I seeing that she's yelling at? Is she yelling at a fairy?
Who's yelling at the fairy?
Devante. Is she? Is
well, yeah, yes. Devante's yelling at Jack. You know why?
Because he spent the money.
No.
Why?
Because he has her child hostage. Has Permir hostage as a fairy.
Okay. But why would he take it that on that it's him?
Oh, it's Jack?
That's, I seen him, like his, I could feel it in his heart. Like his heart.
I don't know.
So why would he take it on from that it's him? Because he disappointed his mom in that lifetime? Is it because of disappointment?
I didn't know. It's not about this.
That is it because he can't do anything right?
I don't know. What was Devante in that time period?
I don't know. All I see her is screaming.
Oh, was Devante a fairy in that time period?
Was Devante a fairy in that lifetime? Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
She
so
was probably yelling at Jack to let her child go.
I know, but why is he taking on that role of Jack?
I think the reason why he took that role on Jack, he was trying to get somebody to rescue them in a past life.
Was he trying to get somebody to rescue them in a past life? Yes. So, but why would he take on that he wasn't good enough? Because that's what we're working on. We went back to this life to find out.
Well, maybe the Devante as a fairy didn't think the fairy was good enough. Maybe, I don't know.
Ask if that's true. Is that true?
Does Devante think that Premier as a fairy in that time period wasn't good enough? I can guess.
Okay, so, all right, I got the right track.
Because some fairies, I think what the problem is a lot of times, you know, they go off in an adventure and they're not doing the thing that they're supposed to do, like people do.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that makes sense for for the golfing.
They want an adventure, and they're pro these like the mother or the fairy godmother or whatever. They're programmed to do their traditions, and he didn't want to do their traditions anymore. He wanted to explore.
He wanted to do something else as
Yeah,
the fairy.
yeah.
Like now.
See,
That goes back to like now.
they disapproved of of that.
Okay, that goes back to now. Because he's not the traditional way, because most of them come doctors or, all these other things.
Yeah.
And in his heritage, he's not that. He wants to be a professional golfer.
Yeah, he took a role and he wanted to explore. They didn't want to do this exactly same thing as what their family traditions are and all that.
So it comes back to this timeline that he's still doing the same thing. He don't want to do what his heritage is trying to force him to be.
Exactly.
He wants to be something different.
Yeah, and that's the same.
So he's fighting the whole traditional of the India, from India, that you're supposed to be a certain way.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that makes sense.
Well, there's a lot of people that's programmed, like that just like if it's not really what they want to do. There's a lot of people in the world. The parents say, "Oh, you do this and do that and do this and do that. We'll make it, right." But is that really what they really want to do?
No. And he's got to do what he really wants to do.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So does she need to forgive him for not doing the fairy work? Would that help? I hear a little bit.
Well, just let him be himself and let him do what he wants.
Well, she is.
So he's happy.
But it's holding, this stuff is holding him back and we're trying to release it.
Yeah.
Well, we can't release it by letting him just be himself. He's got to let go of it.
Oh yeah, he does have to let go of it.
Okay.
That's true.
All right. That's what we're trying to get to. Because it's not just that life. It's probably thousands of lives of that.
I'll give you, for instance, my dad. He wanted me to do. First, he wanted me to do auto body school. I didn't really like it. But then the second thing he wanted me to do was being on the railroad, be an engineer. I let it go, and I really wanted to do this, where I'm at right now. That's what I really wanted to do, and I got it.
Yeah.
What I really wanted to do.
So he just needs to let go of what everybody else is trying to get him to do.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And she needs to let go of the past of trying to get him to be a fairy
Yeah.
that performs the same duties over and over.
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
So then he took the role of Jack because Jack went out and did something different than what his mom did. Asked him, right? Is that where the role of Jack came in at?
Yes. It's giving you an example.
Well, I know, but I feel like he took that role on. And he's still hearing her yell at him.
Well, yeah, he is still hearing her yell at him. Yes. Yeah. Maybe he wanted to, maybe he made a deal with Jack. I don't know. As a fairy, I don't know. He might have.
Okay.
He could
All right,
have.
let's ask. Did Primavera make a deal with Jack? Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, did he switch places with Jack?
That's possible.
Did he switch places with Jack? Yes.
Oh. That's how he did it. Because fairies can do that, I think.
Fairies, so as a fairy, he switched places with Jack, and Jack became a fairy. Did Jack become a fairy?
He did. Holy shit.
Okay.
That,
Because I'm like, there's more to it. I got to find out the whole damn story,
that makes sense.
not just a little bit of the story.
He did. Because Jack didn't want to be the giant anymore. Ah.
Did Jack want to be the giant? No. Did Jack turn into the giant? Oh, he did.
The fairy, yeah.
So, yeah, but Jack was Jack the giant in the first place? No. So, did Jack kill the giant? Yes. So, if Jack killed the giant, did Jack turn into the giant? Yes. Well, that's a whole different story than what they tell in the bedtime stories.
Of course.
Lying bastards.
That makes sense. So basically, that's what he needs to do.
So,
The traditions of the fairy that his mom wanted him to do, or her. I don't know if it was him or her in that time period.
well, we determined he was a girl fairy.
Was he a girl fairy? Yeah, he was.
Okay, so he was a girl fairy.
Yeah.
And then did Mark run off with the girl fairy.
He did. So he stole the
Did he steal Devante? No. See, I hear him say, she was bitching. That's what I hear. She was bitching. So, okay, this was after. So Mark stole the girl fairy after the fairy became Jack, right? Is that
they switched places.
okay? After they switched places, did Mark take off with the fairy?
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
I don't know what he did with the fairy, but
so I have to find out. Mark's gonna think this is funny as can be.
probably.
Did they have fairy children? I just-
No. Did he make the fairy do stuff that the fairy didn't want to do? Yes.
So Mark kind of enslaved the fairy? Did Mark enslave the fairy?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's not good. That we need to fix that for his crops. That's crazy. Okay.
Ask. Did he enslave the fairy?
Did Mark enslave the fairy? Yeah. Well, they're not going to help him grow his crops
So they. Well, no.
if he enslaved the fairy.
I don't know. He might made the fairy do stuff that she didn't want to do. But so it was actually the giant that he actually took in the first place. It wasn't Herman Muir because they switched. So he was.
So he actually took the giant as the fairy. The giant was the fairy from that point. And the giant's like, I wanted to do other stuff because that was Jack.
Yeah.
God, the story could get confusing if you didn't pay attention to it.
Well, anyways, basically, he needs to let Devante needs to let go of the duties of the fairy, and he needs to let go of the
Duties of the fairy. Right? He needs to let go of the duties of the fairy too. Because he feels like he feels like he's a failure.
Well, he made a deal with the giant, though.
I know, but he was a fairy before that. So he still holds on to that energy.
Yeah, he does.
He's got that energy, he's got Jack's energy,
His mom was hollering at him.
and he's got the giant's energy.
Oh, he does have the giant's energy, too. Yeah, because he switched places with him.
No wonder he feels like a big-ass failure. Because he's holding the energy of the giant, which failed to keep the golden goose and the fairy safe, and his kingdom. And then he's got Jack, that failed to bring his mom food and brought back these magical beans. And then he's got the fairy part. Oh, Jesus Christ. No wonder it's... They kept saying it's way much bigger than this. You need to go outside. Ah! Okay. So you have all of that to get rid of. And then Mark needs to release the fairies.